Good morning, everybody. It's Lynn, the leather bag lady. How are you all today? It is Friday. Woo-hoo-hoo. It is, what time is it? 5 to 9. I've been up early with Mr. Pies, who actually set his alarm to PM instead of AM. So I saved the day, that is for sure. I was away. I always seem to wake up quite a bit before his alarm. I was awake a good 40 minutes or so before his alarm was due to go off. And I'm laying there and I'm thinking, I've been laying here for a very long time. So I looked at my watch. I was like, oh shit. So I woke him up. I said, you better get up, buddy. So he's off getting an x-ray and going for his WSIB appointment. He had a questionnaire to do this morning. It was unreal. It took him an hour. So between the two of us, we got it done. So hopefully he's having a successful morning. And we are going to talk about today's bag. So this bag is a bag that I've shown you briefly in my What's on the Elliptical little segment that I do. And it is a brand that was very, very popular, Y2K, Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie. If you haven't already guessed it, it's Juicy Couture. So for whatever reason, Juicy is back. And it is more so the velour than anything else. The track stuff is back. I did a little bit of thrifting last night. I took my clients for supper and the traffic was insane. And I went to the Burlington Fairview Value Village and there was a cart just inside the door with a beautiful pink Juicy Couture velour tracksuit in the buggy. And I was like, yes, somebody else knows that Juicy is back. So this is today's bag. If you didn't already see it, it is very large and in charge. So let's break this bag down. So first of all, as a British person, it's red, white, and blue. As a US person, it's red, white, and blue. So it's actually got a little bit more going for it than just its velour loveliness. So the velour is kind of stamped with J and C's. Then you've got your love, J and C. This is a strip of canvas. This is patent leather. The straps are patent leather. This side has two little Scotty dogs, Juicy Couture, a little chain detail, the Juicy Couture logo, more more patent, and more canvas. That's what I was looking for. On this side, it has a little bit of a scarf detail. There's just so much going on in this bag. These little rings have the Juicy crown. It's got a beautiful red patent base. Nowhere at all on the exterior. None whatsoever. I very much doubt this bag has been used to any great extent. So it has the little magnet closure and then we get inside. So it is all printed Juicy Couture inside. This side has the little pocket, beautiful Juicy hang tag or zipper pull. It has, where is it? It has a Juicy mirror, still has the plastic little zippy tie thing stuck to it. There is your label. We talked about this the other day. As far as my knowledge goes, this Juicy Couture label, as long as it has this white ticket inside, you know that it is not fake. So that is the telltale, in my experience anyway. I'm getting a call from Quebec right now, so I'm not sure what that is. I will delete that. So, are there any issues outside? Absolutely not. This bag is in excellent, excellent condition. No corner wear, nothing. What it does have inside, because this is vinyl, is just some little areas where the color is missing. And that is because it's just a little nick in the vinyl. And it has a spot on the mirror as well. Just where the gold is missing. But like I said, I don't think this bag has been used at all. There's a little bit on the side that says hello. This says shop. And what does the other side say? Nothing. So it is a beautiful bag. It really is a beautiful bag. It has some bling. Not as much as some of the Juicy bags have. I find this to be quite tasteful. It makes it that it's not stupid heavy. It is not. With some of the bags that like to add accessories, Michael Kors, a lot of the old Hamiltons, the heavy buckles and chains and such. But this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous bag. So that is today's vintage offering. So I was kind of excited to list that one. I'm all little bits of fluff. This is Tate's garage. That's where my little car is. Harry picked up his car last night and dropped my little car. So I'm getting the brakes done and the exhaust repaired. I'm not going to stretch for the clutch yet, because this has got to get paid for first, and this is priority. So yesterday I had my clients. We went to the Burlington Mall, East Side Mario's. Not a good experience at all. Not that the waitresses were not doing their job. They were. They weren't doing their job very efficiently, which could be just a learning curve. There was one waitress in the whole building that could pour alcohol, and she had a full section she was serving herself. I mean, she poured the drinks eventually, not for me, for my clients, and then I ended up going to the bar and getting them myself. It was just not good. My food wasn't even warm. It was warm, barely. I asked for a little bit of extra sauce. I always get Alfredo, is my favorite. The way the meal came, it was barely covered with sauce, let alone extra. So, you know what? It just gets frustrating, because I was talking to Pius yesterday about just kind of where my head's at moving forward with this little business of mine. I've gone from having, plans to do custom bespoke stuff to just going back to basics, which is back to my shows, back to being out in the streets, meeting customers, talking to them about what it is I do. And then the reality, as I have mentioned several times, that nobody is buying anything right now. Nobody has the money, or if they do, because that restaurant was pretty full last night, they are choosing to spend it in different ways. So a couple of things that I have to be aware of, and I'm talking about this because there may be some of you out there who are thinking about going into business in like more of a retail type business. Maybe you're in a business that you're noticing these things as well. I don't do a lot of shouting about the eco-friendliness of what I do. My motivator for starting this business was purely financial. I was a single mom, still am a single mom, I guess, technically. I had a very, very fixed income to the point where I don't even know how I did it. But I like nice things. I like quality. I love leather. And I wanted to continue to have those things. And I had some friends in my life who were in a much better financial position than I was or ever was. And, we would go shopping, and it was just, I got to the point where I just didn't want to go with them anymore because I couldn't participate. But I found in the secondhand market, I could. So occasionally we would go to Value Villages, and the whole world opened up to me. Now, Value Village is, you love, you hate them. Um, the prices are insane now. And that was another element that we were talking about last night, that if I remember, because you know what I'm like, I will touch on that as well. But all of a sudden, I could afford nice things. And I like leather. I do like a nice brand. I'm not completely ensconced in brand recognition, but I do recognize that the branding doesn't always necessarily mean better quality. Believe me, it does not. But I mean, for example, what's on the elliptical today? So here's a little coach. This is a more recent brand. The strap is inside. So the issue with this little coach was just the glazing. There was some color loss on the glazing. There's a little bit of bubbling there. And then the strap has lost some of its glazing right here. So I've done my best with that. Pius is calling me. I'm going to ignore that for a minute. This probably was quite a few $100s. And, you're paying for the name. Of course you are. Then you get a beautiful bag like this guy, which is another one of these prune bags. And I mean, the strap is it's so better made. There's none of that glazing. There's, it's just so beautiful. I've added a tassel, which is something that I was going to start doing. I don't know. I'm not really in that headspace right now, but eventually I would like to. And it just complements the bag. So this bag was probably half, if that, the cost of this bag. But you're still getting a beautiful leather bag. So do I want to pay $300 for this? Absolutely not. Would I? Back in the day, maybe, but now, not a hope. I am looking for stuff that is affordable, quality, and says something. I was just watching an episode of a new YouTuber that I'm following, and he was talking to some realtors, high-end realtors in Atlanta, who are all about the cars and all about the bling and everything. Because in a sales environment, realtors especially, what you show up in is your first impression. It is your get in the door moment. And whether you like it or not, they do exist. So whether my parents recently are looking for a new doctor, they walked into the waiting room, they met the prospective doctor, just something about him they didn't like. So I feel moving forward that I need to start presenting my bags as an option for people who are in today's financial crisis. So how do I unpack that? As a single mom, I was still spending money I didn't have until I found my reused lifestyle. I was still spending money, but I was spending a third of what I would normally spend. And I think that's going to be more of my message moving forward. Eco-friendly, absolutely. All of these bags that I buy, I have thrifted or, estate sales or, companies, liquidation outlets, that kind of thing, where would they end up if somebody didn't buy them? So there's that whole element of it. And then there's just the financial element of it. I'm a shopper. I like quality things, and whether I can afford them or not, chances are I'm going to buy them. It could be my generation. Finding a lot of the younger folks are not as hung up on the material things. my opinion, my impression, based on the YouTubers I'm watching, the TV shows I'm watching, and just the interactions I'm having out there in the streets. There's a lot more downsizing, a lot more minimalistic attitudes. I mean, you're going to get your outliers on the spectrum no matter what, but the youth, the young people are starting to really embrace less is more. Probably because they have to. There's no houses in their future. Realistically, my son makes a very good living. There's no house purchase in his future. They're looking at studio apartments. Some of them are looking at van life or, Harry's buddies just bought a trailer and is winterizing it and is looking for a 12-month park. So you can't have a lot of stuff, but you still like what you like. So I'm going to be moving forward with professional women of my age group. I think that's more my target market, definitely for my .com. Maybe not quite so much for my Etsy store. My vintage market seems to be a little bit younger, but definitely my resale pre-loved bags are, I'm going to say 45 to 75 is my window of customer base. And again, there's outliers on either side. So they are still in professions because, I mean, let's face it, my sister and brother-in-law had to go back to work. My hairdresser yesterday or Wednesday was sharing with me that her mortgage is almost going to double soon. So everybody is finding it tough right now. But you still got to have a little something of what you love. So that's just kind of my observations. Pius and I were looking at the bottom line. I did 2 comparative studies on what I'm actually earning when I list a bag for 65, 75, 85, 95. And we took a $85 bag yesterday and we broke it down. And I think I'm actually earning, after Etsy fees, shipping, my postage materials, my cleaning materials, and the price of the bag, I think I'm making about $28. And that's on an $85 bag. Shopify, my .com, I'm not dealing with the 9% fees. I'm dealing with a 3% fee because of the cart platform, which I will gladly pay for no matter what, because those e-commerce platforms offer your customer, I didn't know this, they offer your customer payment plans. They offer your customer multiple different ways to pay. You still get your money up front, but they can make a payment. They can make 4 payments. I couldn't offer that off my back. So to me, I think it's really worth it. But for that same $85 bag, I think I was making about $40 as opposed to $28. So I'm thinking that I need to spend a little bit more time on my .com, and I need to spend it. It's a process, just like Etsy is a process. I've been on Etsy since 2020. And, it'll be March, it'll be 4 years that I've been on Etsy. And, it's very much like this. During COVID, it was wonderful. But since March 2022, not so much. So not even probably March 2022. So it is just about constantly shifting, reinventing your business, following the trends, listening, and, kind of looking at where you want to go versus where the industry is going. And this financial crunch, it's not going to be going away anytime soon. So people are still spending money. They're just not spending it the way they used to. So all these outdoor events, these outdoor fairs and such, fall fairs, my what I'm hearing is that, yes, people are going to these things. They are embracing them like crazy, just happy to be out, but nobody's got any money to spend. Yeah, they'll buy a ice cream or a hot dog, which is going to cost them $10 anyway. So it's tough out there. And but human nature is human nature, and I'm still going to think positively that people are going to want to buy stuff. It's just they have to reframe what it is they're buying and probably how much they're buying. So rather than going and buying vinyl guest bags, come to the leather bag lady and buy a leather. Not that I carry guests. I don't like guests at all. Um, my opinion, my opinion. Come to the leather bag lady and buy a beautiful Juicy Couture bag, which is so hot right now. A little Coach bag, a prune bag. What else have I got on the elliptical? 2 prune bags. I'll show you that one another time. A beautiful made in Italy bag. Liz Claiborne. I know people shit all over Liz Claiborne, but I love Liz Claiborne. So those are some of the bags that will be coming to you next week. So have a good weekend, everybody. We are just chomping at the bit to get to the trailer, and I will talk to you on Monday. Stay safe, everybody. Bye.